You know that goal you set at the start of the year? You can still do it, whether you're committed to a thru hike with friends, lifting heavier, or simply walking more. It's not too late to stick with it and make your future self proud, especially with the all-in-one nutrition shake from Kachava. Because quality nutrition shouldn't be complicated. Just 2 scoops of Kachava's all-in-one nutrition shake, and you've got 25 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber, greens, adaptogens, and so much more. Plus, it actually tastes delicious. No fillers, no nonsense. Just the good stuff your body craves. So instead of adding to your backstock of supplements that overpromise and underdeliver, simplify your progress with just 2 scoops of the highest quality ingredients. Stick with your wellness goals. Go to Kachava.com and use code FITNESS for 15% off. That's Kachava.com and use code FITNESS. KACHAVA.com, code FITNESS.
We have the tech to get food delivered in 15 minutes, but we all have horror stories about buying tickets. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage. Get amazing tickets in just a few taps. Fees are included, so what you see is what you pay. And the Game Time guarantee means authentic tickets at the best price every time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets to concerts, sports, comedy, and more with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in to Follow the Money. It is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss along with Pauly Howard. We are live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Busy 3-hour program lined up today on the show. Rob Staton in 30 minutes. He covers the Seattle Seahawks. Moves they're going to make in the offseason to go after a repeat next year. Jeff Seeley, a day earlier this week, on his best bets with analysis. AT&T at Pebble Beach begins this week. Max Hoffmeyer on college basketball. Derek Stevens on why the Super Bowl betting handle was down this year. I would say significantly from last year and previous years in the state of Nevada. Interesting night last night in college basketball. Some good, some not so good. How about the college basketball angle here now with Dylan Peterson, who is the best player in the country, in a loaded group of freshmen. Pauly, that was 2.5 when we were on the air yesterday. Arizona favored, obviously trying to remain undefeated on the year, going into Allen Fieldhouse last night. And that thing was bet up to 4.5, 5 minutes before the game tipped off because the news comes out. Yeah, there's going to be no Peterson again tonight. He's got flu-like symptoms. And DK actually got to 5.5 on the game. And Arizona led for most of it, but around the midway part of the second half, Kansas took control. They won the game, and there was no Peterson playing the entire game. Weird, man, what's going on?
Well, what do you think? Like the people saying I can't go to war with him, and it could affect, will he go number 1 in the draft, even though he's so talented, because he missed the second half of the BYU game, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rare that a guy says, I'm out, I'm sick, I can't go. Usually they fight through it and sometimes even you can have a good game. So a lot of people are freaking out about that. The other thing is Self doesn't lose on Big Monday. That keeps going.
40-0 at home.
I know. And then the stretch at Arizona. Arizona started the stretch where 6 of 7 were against top 20 teams. And what you take out the BYU game, 5 of 7 against top 15 teams. So it's 1 loss, but how many will it turn into? And how many are they going to lose during this brutal stretch that they have coming up?
Peterson also did not play against UConn this year, did not play against Duke, sat out the second half of North Carolina. It's like he's almost already prepping for load management in the NBA.
Yeah.
I know that is probably an easy joke to make, but he's bringing load management to college hoops. I know his agent's been involved a lot this year. He has had some injuries. I get that part of it. But Aaron Torres, who was there at the game last night, tweeted all this out, and he goes, I know this is going to be unpopular on Twitter, but there's no way I'm drafting him number 1 overall. He's minus $4 to go number 1. Isn't there a bet to be made on Dabansa at BYU to go number 1 at plus 550?
Yeah.
Isn't that the takeaway here?
Yeah. Or the field. Just bet the no.
If you can find a yes/no on that.
Yeah.
And also, I'm holding Kansas 60-1 from weeks ago in pocket to win the whole thing. I'm quite comfortable in saying that they can, in fact, win the entire thing with Aaron Peterson playing. How far can they go without him? I would probably say Sweet 16. Depends on the matchup in the bracket, maybe a little bit beyond that.
Yeah.
But are we going to be holding Kansas future tickets? And it's looking great. He plays the first couple of rounds. And then, I'm sorry, I got to bring this up. In the Sweet 16 on that Thursday or Friday night, all of a sudden, 10 minutes, I'm not going to go. Like, what the hell's going on?
Mm-hmm.
How do you handle this if you're Bill Self?
Yep. And now we're down to 1. It's just Miami, Ohio. 24-0. They play Friday. They are currently an 11 seed in bracketology. Will they be undefeated entering the tournament 4-1? Will they reach the Sweet 16 4-1? And the last time the MAC got multi-bids, as if they would stub their toe here in the conference tournament, 1998-99, when Wally Zerbiak and Miami of Ohio went to the Sweet 16.
Mm-hmm.
So we're now down to 1. So if they see if they can keep this going, it's still good to follow for college basketball. And as I've said all year long, it's hard to win. And you got to give them credit. I don't care if they lose 2 games. They should get an at-large bid. But now we're down to 1, and they play Friday, and we'll see if they can keep this up as it's a doable schedule the rest of the way for Miami.
You can bet on their seed line at 10.5. How would you go with that? Would you bet over or under that number?
Boy.
Again, the most common thought is that they're going to be an 11.
I would say under. I think they can go 32-1.
Well, if they go undefeated, certainly
Something
they
like
have to
that.
be better than an 11 seed.
Oh, yeah, right.
I'm sorry, they just have to be.
Yeah. I don't think they'll go undefeated, but I think they might. I think they'd probably lose in the championship game of the conference tournament. I think that would happen. 30, 32, 31-1, something like that.
Yeah. So that was strange last night. You got the Miami of Ohio angle as well, being the last undefeated team. In the NBA, look, we were on the air yesterday saying, yeah, this is going to be something else to watch all these teams that are tanking in the association. And one team that did it to perfection over the weekend was Utah when they played in Orlando, and they pulled all their guys in the fourth quarter, and they blew a 17-point lead. They lost the game. So they're in action again last night, catching a big number, a similar number to Miami. They're up by, 9, 10, 11 at halftime. And, excuse me, I fired away on the Miami Heat to come back and win the game, thinking that, okay, they got the memo. They know what to do here. And the coaches went ahead and did their job, and they sat their best players basically for the fourth quarter. Not a minute from guys like Nurkic, from guys like Jaren Jackson, et cetera.
Yeah.
And somehow, some way, a guy like Sensabaugh has a really nice game in the fourth quarter, and they won the game.
Well, how do you not take the $5 at halftime?
I did.
I mean,
I got buried on it.
You had to take it. I know, but that's like Bam said after the game. We're not supposed to lose to teams that don't want to win.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what happened. But they're pros too. They're on scholarship, and Sensabaugh got hot. But that just goes back to they did it again. They're sitting the starters again. And like the Orlando game, which was a dream because they blew a 17-point lead. And again, the coach Harden didn't call a timeout. Here, the Heat could do nothing about it. And they lose the damn game. They had the lead late. Sensabaugh hits a 3, and that's it. Drive home safely. It's embarrassing.
Oh, JVT was telling me, by the way, today when we recorded Pod of the Futures, he asked me if I saw what Will Hardy was like after the games. And I said, no, I didn't. He was asked flat out, did you give any more consideration to play those guys? No.
Yeah.
One word answer, no. Just shut it
I
down.
know. Yeah, orders from above.
Yeah.
Yep, from the top. I know. It's great. 9 teams are tanking. This is just going to be so bizarre in the last couple months of the year.
But here's what happened last night.
A lot of them got blown out last night, but you just have the outlier where the Jazz shocked the world.
Yeah, the one team that I bet on. I got killed on it, and they came back to win. The Kings got blasted. The Grizzlies lost by 1. They're tanking. Mm-hmm. The Bucks got blasted last night. And the Nets were the other team. They won their game. They were playing the Bulls last night.
Yeah, but they're playing the Bulls, and the Bulls don't want to win.
Right.
Yes. So they're sitting Porter, and you're going to see how sitting other guys as well.
I'll give you this, too. It's a big week in the association. This is a great tweet from Matt Moore, who we had on last week. Keep this in mind. 90% of title winners have won 40 games before 20 losses. Only 2 teams in NBA history have won the title without being a top 3 seed. So the teams that are going to be 40 wins before 20 losses, OKC already did it. Detroit should. San Antonio should as well. The Celtics and Knicks have to go 6-1 before that 40-20 deadline passes. And the 5 teams that should be a top 3 are the Thunder, the Spurs in the West, the Pistons, the Celtics, and the Knicks then would qualify if they each go 6-1 in their next 7 games to get that mark.
Yeah, it's a good angle. Can the Spurs catch the Thunder for the 1 seed?
How long is SGA going to be
back?
out?
Yeah. That's interesting, no doubt.
Can Cade Cunningham overtake SGA for the MVP if he misses enough time?
I know you added something, too, when we talked about it a couple weeks ago. Huge win for the Cavs. They were down 10 with 7 minutes left. Their schedule is so easy the rest of the way.
Third easiest.
I would jump in and take some 9-1 on the Cavs to win the division.
I did that this morning.
Yep. Plus, because you already have Detroit plus 450 in pocket.
Sure. And I would say that if you want to, like us here, trying to guarantee some money on this bet, and you were with us when you bet the Pistons months ago, I think this week is like the last time that you have a chance to get in on the Cavs because their schedule is so easy. Detroit has the 6th hardest schedule moving forward. Mm-hmm. And the Cavaliers at BetMGM, I think it was over the weekend, they were 11-1. I don't think like it's going to be double digits anytime soon. JVT made the case for Mitchell MVP at 300-1. Because he's convinced the Cavaliers are going to go on an absolute tear down the stretch to finish the season.
Yeah, that one's tough, though. Because how many shots is Harden going to take?
And what else is going on?
Luke, you got our guy? Put him up. Put him up. Here we go. So it's halftime, Premier League match, Man U and West Ham, no score. Our guy hasn't had a haircut in 2 years. He won't get a haircut until Man U wins 5 in a row. He's got to get this one or they reset here. They've won 4 in a row, and it's tied at the half right now. No score, 0-0 halftime against West Ham. Oh, boy.
Poor guy.
He's got to get it. I know. Look at this.
October 5th, 2024.
They were $1.50 before the match. They were $1.10 in play. Draws 2-1. West Ham is 4-1. The lengths you have gone to or would go to for your favorite team or go to see a concert, whatever, ftm@vsin.com or tweet at us.
Yeah, but
this is just, look at this. It looks like an animal here.
Have you ever made a proclamation? Have you ever made a statement? Have you ever made a bet with somebody based on the team that happens to be your favorite at any sport? And you couldn't really dial it back, like, those words came out of my mouth now, and I have to live up to it here.
I remember John Ireland when he did the Laker games. If they blow this lead, I'll walk home. And they did. They blew like a 30-point lead, and he didn't walk. But
I think that was actually in Cleveland, the game.
Yeah.
I think where they lost it.
Mm-hmm. And a baseball player did it once, and he did walk. He honored his word. But that's Mad Dog Russo. Mad Dog Russo, recently. I know. I love the guy, but that was a bad job. Love Mad Dog. Can't do that.
Was that
I'll retire if Arizona comes back and wins Game 6 and 7 in Philly.
Yeah, if the Diamondbacks win the National League pennant.
Yep.
I will retire, is what he said.
Yeah, that was just a bit, he said. I can't. Come on, Russo. You're a Hall of Famer. You can't do that, right?
Have you ever said anything that you're like, I need to take that one back?
No. The one thing I think of is I drove to Kansas City to see Metallica in the summer one year. Long drive with a couple people. They weren't your friends. You know, one guy was doing drugs. It's like, oh boy, what did I get into? And then when we get there, the opening act was Alice in Chains, and they canceled because Lane Staley relapsed. So I'm like, this is the lengths I go to here, and it blew up in my face. Who knows what's going to happen? I don't hardly know these people.
Was the concert good?
Oh, it was excellent.
Okay. Well, money.
They delivered. Metallica delivered. Yeah. You know that.
We'll tell you why searching for that team to bet on for next year's Super Bowl based on potentially landing a quarterback in the offseason is probably a bad idea coming up next.
So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
You know that wellness goal you set at the start of the year? It's not too late to stick with it and make your future self proud, especially with the all-in-one nutrition shake from Kachava. With 25 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber, greens, adaptogens, and more. No fillers, no nonsense, just the highest quality ingredients. Stick with your wellness goals. Go to Kachava.com and use code FITNESS for 15% off. That's KACHAVA.com, code FITNESS.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
News report on tonight's NBA card in the last handful of minutes now. Numbers are either off the board or they have moved, I think, at pretty much every spot. But here's what's going on in this Lakers-Spurs game tonight. Lakers playing on a back-to-back, got beat by OKC last night. LeBron James is out. Austin Reeves is out. Marcus Smart is out. DeAndre Ayton is questionable as of right now.
Oh, there were 6s yesterday. It's up to 12.5.
Yeah. You want to go first quarter, first half, something like that?
Oh, boy.
LeBron James is also now ineligible to make the All-Star team. Being ruled out. 21 season streak is now over with.
Who's going to score tonight?
That's exactly what I'm thinking here, right?
Who's going to? How you want to attack the props with that?
Against Wemby?
Oh.
Is it going to be just Hachimura tonight for the Lakers?
Yeah.
Who else is going to go?
Everything's down at DraftKings in light of the announcement. I know. But I know we're on Cooper Flag props. He's 22.5 for points as they take on the Suns. So,
well, hold on one second here. Actually, would you think about maybe playing some unders on Spurs props as well? Like go under on Wemby stuff because what is he going to play tonight? 23 minutes?
Sure, good point. The back-to-back, yeah. Not a bad observation.
Maybe that's one way to go with it.
Yep. Blow them out, sit people, get ready for the next game, and on to the next.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad. But we've seen this many times where the backups play well, hang in there, and look at the Wizards the other night.
For sure.
Catching 17, won the game outright. So, but I'm picking up what you're putting down.
So you mentioned Cooper Flag there. Are you going to go back to the well with him
Yes.
tonight? He had one off game after that.
Yeah, the shots weren't there, but he's fine.
He was so hot before that.
Oh, yeah.
And now getting a Suns team Phoenix favored in this game by a ton of points in this spot tonight as well. The Mavericks also a team that probably will not win a lot of games moving forward, and the Suns are 8.5.
Don't want to, yeah.
I don't know, maybe you could do like a money line parlay. Who's going to be the fly in the ointment tonight? That's got to be the question, I think, every day when you look at the NBA card.
Yeah, I like Marshall, too. He's $1.20 to score 15 points. He's been great as well. But, again, they don't have their pick, 27, 28, 29, 30. So it's very important for the Mavs as they reboot now with the horrible trade and they move on from Davis and Flag as the future. So the shots will be there, the pace, the opportunities, plenty of looks. So ride with Marshall, ride with Flag.
We touched on futures in the NFL for next year on yesterday's show, doing the Super Bowl aftermath and a look ahead for next season. And then ESPN.com today came out with a huge story about quarterbacks and like who's going to be available this year when you combine the draft and also just like in the market overall. Well, Mendoza, obviously, he's going to go number one overall. He's like minus 8,000 to go to the Raiders at number one overall. Other than that, in the draft, and this is from Benjamin Solak, he wrote Ty Simpson, Garrett Nussmeier, guys that there was no mention of Trinidad Chambliss.
I like him.
So do I.
I don't mind him at all. Late first round, who knows? All it takes is one team to fall in love.
Yep.
But the article today, and this is what Lombardi always talked about when he was with VSiN, is the musical chairs, and it's going to be who's standing without a chair. Because they said there's 10 teams and 12 quarterbacks, how this is going to work out. So the Tua rumors, the Kyler Murray, where he could wind up. There's also Malik Willis is another one, and I think we're going to be shocked with how much money that guy gets.
So let me give you this. There was a sports book that put out a graphic today predicting some of the big free agents and where they're going to sign, and they had Malik Willis going to the Vikings. This is from Thor Nystrom, who does a great job covering college football, NFL. He's been on this network many, many times. Thor responded to the sports book and said the Vikings will not sign Willis. They don't see him as a system fit. That said, we may not be prepared for the contract Willis will get. I told an agent my prediction of 2 years, $50 million, a Justin Fields contract plus, and he laughed at me. The agent told Thor, quote, if he was my client, the conversation begins. Are you ready for this? Begins at $100 million.
Come on. Oh. There's been a lot of improvement, but boy, oh boy.
Well, he has to go to the right system.
Yes.
I would agree with Thor completely.
Yeah.
The Vikings probably would not be that spot. I would say that LaFleur has done a phenomenal job of taking Willis under his wing and making him become a much better quarterback than what he was with Tennessee when he first got into the league. And that franchise was completely clueless, and he never got any better with them. He has to go to the right spot, the system, the coach. But $100 million?
Man, the Browns would probably do it.
Oh.
So he's completing 79% the last 2 years. 970 yards, 11 yards per attempt, which is a lot higher than Lamar Jackson. Total QBR also ahead of Lamar Jackson by a lot as well.
Yeah, what if
the opportunities haven't been there, but when he's been in there, he's been great. And he's really played well. He doesn't look anything like the guy in Tennessee. And we know he can beat you with his legs, too.
So what if, here's a team, and we kicked them around yesterday briefly. On odds next year to win the Super Bowl, we had questions about their quarterback, though.
Mm-hmm.
What if Malik Willis were to sign a contract with the Atlanta Falcons? I would say day one starter immediately would be my reaction.
But you like him more than Penix?
Penix is a complete unknown to me at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I loved him at Washington. I have not been blown away by him. I don't know if anybody has. I don't know how you can be at this point. And I don't even know if that would be the right spot for him. But would that be enough for you to say Stefanski, again, London, Robinson? I don't know if Pitts is going to come back, but they certainly have the offensive weapons. With that new head coach, would that be like, 80-1? Looks pretty decent to me. Or am I the guy who's riding with you to Kansas City to watch Metallica doing drugs right now?
Sure.
What was he doing, by the way?
I think he dropped acid.
Ah.
Yeah. I could. Yeah.
Did he offer you some?
No. I would say Kyler. I'd rather have Kyler Murray. What do you think of that? Is that crazy? But
well, no, because put it this way: the sample size with Malik Willis is so small that golly,
no one has been more. I've been so hard on this guy, and it infuriates me sometimes how he plays and throwing the ball out of bounds on fourth down. But he said the right situation. How about Carr coming back out of retirement in that spot? It'd be complicated how you work out a trade, but no.
In Atlanta?
No. Well, I'd rather have him more than Penix. Give me Carr over Penix.
Oh, so you're completely just like off Penix.
Because the offense shouldn't look like that. They have too many weapons.
Yeah, but that was also Raheem Morris.
Well.
Boy.
Are you completely done? I think you have to be done with Tua. I agree with the viewers who send stuff in. You have to factor in he's one hit away from it's all over.
Oh yeah, I mean
that has to be so.
I can't
and
imagine.
Plus he looks terrible without Tyreek Hill.
For any of these guys, basically for Tua, for Kyler Murray, like if we had breaking news right now, for example, that they're going to go to a team that needs a quarterback, I would not make a bet on that team to win the Super Bowl, and I'd not be telling the audience, hey, you better grab them right now.
Yeah.
Maybe they can be fine and be a potential playoff team in a different landing spot, but I think we have enough meat on the bone here from Kyler Murray to realize that he's not great, and he'll never be great.
Mm-hmm.
And Tua, like you said...
It doesn't have to be, though. I mean...
Well, give me the spot then. Pittsburgh? Kyler Murray goes to Pittsburgh right now.
I don't hate it. No.
But like a deep run?
No, not deep run, but I think Murray fits in Atlanta, though. I mean, think about that team won 8 games, and they had lousy quarterback play.
Yeah.
Or below average. What if you can elevate the offense and you had guys injured, too, but... look what happened when Cousins came in. All of a sudden, Pitts was off the milk carton.
I know it.
I mean, you have Robinson, you have Pitts, you have London, you have Mooney. Why doesn't this work?
Would you rather go Kyler Murray than Tua then?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
No doubt about it.
No doubt about it. Yes. Murray made the playoffs. I mean, he's not a bum, but it goes back to what you said, too, about the contracts. The Jets, which we laughed at the day it happened, they just gave Fields 2 for $40.
That's exactly right. That's why Thor brought that up.
He can't even complete a pass.
Like, if a team signed Willis 2 for $40 or 2, I'm like, okay, that's based on what quarterbacks have gone for in previous years. Maybe they can make it pop. I'll give you another one, too. We brought his name. If Atlanta drafted Trinidad Chambliss, he couldn't start from day one?
Yeah.
And be dangerous?
Mm-hmm.
And make like a Jaden Daniels type impact in year one and go on a deep run in that division?
You can't rule anything out after what we just saw. I mean, at the time, no one thought anything of it. It's like, okay, well, good for Seattle. Whoop-de-doo, they signed Darnold.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought it was a downgrade from Geno Smith.
Yeah. Mina Kimes tweeted it out, and she was getting crap the last couple of weeks.
Oh, it's going to be hard to replace him now. Boy, this is a disaster.
Yeah. But again...
And they go 17-3 with them.
To your point, who thought that she was going to be dead wrong about that with the tweet?
Yeah.
Not a lot of people. A couple bettors did, and they scored big time on it, but...
Well, yeah, it's also your fit, too, if they would get Malik Willis. The defense was much better. Okay? You have the weapons. You lean on the running game. And you could see Atlanta winning 10, 11 games and then making some noise.
And we also got plenty of feedback on one specific team, and if they win it, good for them. I can't get there with Cincinnati.
No way. The offensive line and the defense? No way.
And the coach?
No way. Absolutely.
Zach Taylor, again, why do we think he's a good coach? Because he happened to have Joe Burrow as his quarterback the year they made the Super Bowl, so he's a good coach? Okay.
No, I'd rather have Jacksonville, the Chargers, all those teams, the Bears. They're all in the same. Texans, absolutely, yeah. They're all in the same bracket, same odds range.
Rob Staton on the program next, covers the Seattle Seahawks. We're going to ask him what the game plan is in the offseason for a chance to repeat. For example, like any chance they would let Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker leave in free agency.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
There is a lot going on right now, and we go out to the Progressive guest line. Rob Staton joins the program now, senior sports journalist, BBC, covers Sheffield United, and he also writes a Seahawks draft blog. He just got back to, the London area, Rob, where you live, and you were at the Super Bowl in the Bay Area out here in the States a couple of hours ago, so thank you for joining us. Before we get into your experience there and talk Seahawks, this Man U match got more interesting because the poor kid who said he's not going to shave his hair or cut his hair until they win 5 in a row.
Yeah.
Today they're going for win number 5. And West Ham just scored. What did I win, like the 58th minute?
Yeah, he's in trouble.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Are you serious? I'm guessing that you've been following this, yeah?
Everybody in the United Kingdom is following this story. This guy with the hair, and as I was joking with you off air, as somebody who is follically challenged, I don't have that much sympathy for him. I would love to be in a position where I need a haircut. Get me a 5th win, and I will go and have a haircut. Some of us don't have that problem, but he's looking now like he needs a haircut. He's looking a bit like a hedge on top of his head, like a small animal has crawled on top of his head.
Right,
so
right.
I'm hoping for his sake and for half of my family who are from Manchester and are Manchester United supporters that they can turn this around and get a dramatic late victory again.
Well said. Okay, so we'll follow that for the rest of this match, obviously, as it's going on. As we said, you just got back a couple hours ago, so we really thank you for popping on the show. You were at the Super Bowl. You cover the Seahawks. You cover the draft for them as well. You write about it every single year. When did you think that game was over with, being there in person?
Truthfully, at halftime. The big thing that Mike McDonald has said throughout this season is he likes to let a game declare itself and act accordingly. And I think this is the most underrated aspect of the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl this year. You have a lot of coaches in the NFL. A lot of people may disagree with what I'm about to say, but their modus operandi is, I am going to go for it every time on 4th down. I want to be aggressive. This is what we do. Doesn't matter what game it is, what opponent it is, what the weather's like, what the situation is. We are going to be aggressive, and it has cost them. It cost Dan Campbell a game in the regular season that he admitted they would have won if they were more conservative against the Eagles. It cost the Bears. It's cost other teams. And Mike McDonald is out there, and he's looking at a situation where his defense is just playing lights out. The New England Patriots couldn't block anything on that left side with the left tackle and the left guard struggling. He knew that field goals were going to be enough. At halftime, it was only 9-0, and I'm thinking they're just too strong. And if they just keep the scoreboard ticking over, they're going to win this game, and so it proved.
When did you buy in? Because you were at the game week 1, and Darnold struggled, and he had the big turnover late in the game. When did you buy in and say, this team is going to be dangerous?
Well, in terms of actually believing they were going to win the Super Bowl, I can say it was about 10 minutes after they won the NFC Championship game, because they had to get past the Rams to have this opportunity. And that felt like that's going to be a really difficult test. The Rams are a fantastic team. And that was, in effect, really, if we're being honest, it was the real Super Bowl, I suppose, when the Seahawks played the Rams. In terms of buying into how legit the Seahawks were, I think it was towards the end of the season. It was when they had beat the Rams originally. They'd shown that they could beat the best teams. They were winning games at home again, which had been a problem for them over the years. And they were very, very consistent. They've ended the season on this incredible winning run. Going back to week 1, though, as I was walking back to the hotel from Lumen Field after they lost to the 49ers, my opinion was not that I just watched the future Super Bowl champions. It was that they still had a lot of work to do. So it's credit to them. And it goes to show that you don't learn a lot in week 1 in the NFL season. There's a lot of football to be played between then and the end of the year. So
how do they keep this together? How do you replace Kubiak? Can you keep Walker? How do you see this playing with the offseason and things they need to do?
Huge challenge. Replacing Clint Kubiak is going to be a pain in the backside for them, because the reason that they won the Super Bowl is because they were brilliant on offense, defense, and special teams. If there's even a little bit of a regression on the offense, then they're probably not going to usurp the Rams and win the NFC West next year. So you've got to take that into account. It sounds like they're going to hire from within. I think people like Justin Outten, the running game coordinator, and I think Jake Peets. Maybe Andrew Janoko's the quarterback coach, although he may go with Clint Kubiak and be the offensive coordinator in Las Vegas. You know, they're the candidates that you're probably looking at here. The other thing you've got to know is that they are going to pay Devin Witherspoon and Jackson Smith-Njigba between now and training camp. They are both going to get huge amounts of money. The Seahawks have got a lot of cap space. That's getting a lot of publicity in the media. But one thing they have to account for is the money that you have to put in escrow in guaranteed cash. And with the team potentially being sold this year, that is going to complicate things. So the current ownership team going to put millions and tens of millions into escrow, not just to pay Devin Witherspoon and Jackson Smith-Njigba, which I'm sure the new owners would foot the bill for that whenever they take over as part of any agreement. But then you've got to go out and, like you say, keep a Ken Walker, a Kobe Bryant, a Rashid Shaheed. You've just paid Charles Cross a massive new contract as well. You can't keep everybody. They're going to lose some players. They've only got 4 draft picks. John Schneider's going to have his work cut out, but he's shown that he's up to the challenge.
Take a stab at it then right now. Of those names that you mentioned, and they're all, I mean, they have so much young talent. They're not going to be able to keep everybody. If you had to take a guess right now as to which player or players they will not bring back next year, who would you say they're going to be?
Reek Woolen will not be coming back to the Seahawks. You can take that to the bank. He's going to be moving on. It's been an ill fit for a while. He's played a little bit better this season than he had in the past, but he's going to be moving on. Boya Mafe will move on. He will get a new challenge. The pass rusher, he didn't have enough sacks this year, but his pressure percentage was good enough to get a decent deal somewhere else. I think it could go either way with Ken Walker. It depends what other teams are prepared to pay for a free agent running back. It doesn't seem to me like that's a great market at the moment, so they might be able to do a deal there. I think Rashid Shaheed will come back as a priority. Kobe Bryant's going to be another one. Could easily be 50-50 whether he comes back.
Do you think they go for $10 billion?
Could be. And the talk is that there is people were wondering whether Jeff Bezos was going to get involved here, of course, because of his connections to the Pacific Northwest. But it does seem as if the main party, I've been sort of looking at the rumblings and the reports in the last couple of days, and it sounds as if there's maybe an unnamed, not particularly high profile billionaire who is very interested in getting involved in the NFL. And that seems to be one of the directions that this might go. And the NFL has looked, I think, for owners who perhaps don't want the spotlight and are perhaps not going to court controversy. And I think we've seen that with the Broncos ownership and the Commanders ownership, that they've been able to achieve that so far. I think they'll want something very similar with the Seahawks, and I think that's the way it will go. But yeah, I think minimum $8 billion, max $10 billion. That's what it's going to go for.
Wow. Can you put this in perspective in 2 minutes? Sorry, apologies for the time, but Sheffield Wednesday, that they are -7 in points and they haven't scored 10 matches in a row and have 1 win on the season. What is it like to cover that tire fire?
It's horrendous, especially because my day job requires me to sometimes drive for 3 or 4 hours to go and watch these games and then drive 3 or 4 hours back afterwards. To put it into perspective for an American audience, let me tell you, it's like watching 10 games of NFL where your team doesn't score, let alone a touchdown, doesn't score a field goal, and perhaps doesn't even get in the red zone in those 10 games. That's what it feels like covering Sheffield Wednesday. It is an absolute disastrous situation. There are owners with connections to the United States trying to get a deal done. It is taking a long time. It's not clear whether this is going to get finalized. This is a team that was one of the founding members of the Premier League. They've not been in the Premier League for 26 years now, and they're going to be in the 3rd division next season. It is a horror story for one of the most historic and well-known clubs in English football. And you start to wonder, will it ever end for Sheffield Wednesday? Are they ever going to get out of this nightmare?
Do you know where this, how it compares to any other league that would be comparable, or even like lower leagues in this, to go on a 10-game match streak and not have any goals to show for it?
I've never seen anything like this. This is a record for the championship division, which they are in. That you see teams that are really struggling, who have points deductions, who lose players because they have to sell them. Teams who've got into administration, like Sheffield Wednesday have. And they do find a way to be a little bit more competitive than this. Now, to Wednesday's credit, they're not scoring, they're not conceding loads until last weekend when they lost 4-0 against Swansea. And you do wonder if the floodgates will open now and they're going to start getting a few hammerings here to end the season. But I know, look, Wednesday have a big fan base. They're well backed in Sheffield and around the country. There's a lot of despair amongst the supporters there. And it's a real weird situation that I've just been out to the Super Bowl and watched Seahawks fans celebrating and loving everything about their team. And then I returned home, and one of the first things I did was report a story on Sheffield Wednesday as soon as I got my foot through the front door. So it's a real yin and yang of sporting glory and despair.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah.
Oh, great job.
Yeah. Rob, that was awesome. Thanks so much
you.
for the time, and great to hear that it was a fun experience coming out here to the Bay Area for the Super Bowl. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Anytime.
Yeah. Rob Staton, you can cover him on X, at Rob Staton, Staton. Covers the Seahawks, I think I said Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday, and he was on the progressive guest line here. What do we have?
And they play it's still 1-0.
Okay.
And they play Saturday, and they're $1.30 to get shut out for the 11th match in a row. They play Millwall, and Millwall is only $2.60 to win.
It seems kind of likely that it's going to happen again.
Yeah, you got to keep riding that streak. He was excellent on how bad it's been.
Win Some, Lose Some is coming up next here on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Jazz money line plus 280. Trying to lose, still won. With the backups in the fourth quarter, shame on you, Miami Heat. Pelicans 5.5 up to 9. Blazers plus 2 to -3. Rolled the Sixers in Evansville 3-1. Subscribe, be part of the team, vsin.com. Our radio and podcast friends always want to see these tweets and videos. At Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in, we'll put you on. Cigar City Jeff Staples this morning. How about this? He was dealt the Royale with cheese on Ultimate X 10 play. 2 times multipliers on all of them. There's $4,000. Lock it up, don't have to hold anything. Piece of cake. Well done, sir.
The feeling when that pops is like,
wow.
I don't even know what to compare it to.
That is something. Piece of cake.
That happened to me when? September? I think on 10
so,
play.
yeah.
And it honestly, it takes a good amount of time before you actually believe it. And you're looking, you're like, wait a second, what?
Yeah, you don't have to hit a button.
Dealt?
Yeah,
really?
you don't have to hit a button.
I just, ding,
That's
ding,
right.
ding, ding, here we go.
Yeah. Good job, Jeff. Thanks for sending it in. This is great. Dogs are so smart. But to see what this dog did, he gets up and pretends he has to go to the bathroom, and then the lady opens the door to let him out, only for him to jump on her spot on the sofa and steal her spot to lay down. All calculated. Whole plan. Hey, I have to go. Open the door so I can go to the bathroom. She comes over, gets up, he jumps up, steals her spot. Okay, good. Now what are you going to do? Huh? That's it. I'm comfortable. Look at him.
They could be a little conniving, huh?
Look at him. I'm comfortable now. What? No room for you. Sorry. That's great. Oh, it's so key to find that good spot where you're comfortable and you like it and where you're at. Like, look at this guy with the water barrel. The wheelbarrow, rather. In the water. Yeah, the Rottweiler, the big guy. Get up there. Splish splash. And then okay, I'm going to take a nap. I'm all comfortable here in the water. And a little drink, too. Quench the thirst while I'm at it. Jumping up on the
hot day outside.
the wheelbarrow. Sure, right. Lose some. Denver plus 1.5 to -3. Blew a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter. Lost to the Cavs. Grizzlies Warriors under 226 down to 220. No good. In Arizona, once the Peterson news hit, 1.5 up to 5. 5.5 at one spot. Lost outright. And one bad beat. St. John Xavier under. The game gets there, goes to overtime. Should have mentioned that yesterday. That was a bad spot for St. John's.
Oh, yeah, for
Off the huge win Friday, and they almost lost as 15-point favorites. College hoops grind is where the real bettors find their edge. Dozens of games at night, constant line movement, opportunity for those who know where to look. You're not beating billion-dollar books or full-time sharps on your own with the sharp plays you don't have to. Powered by advanced AI and connected insider sources, the Sharp Plays highlights sharp action, key numbers, and market shifts before the public catches up. Free reports, alerts, public logs, transparent results since 2011. Jeff and the crew been in with Follow the Money since day one. Get the tweets, everything sent right to you, piece of cake. Own the boards this college basketball season. A must-follow, sharpplays.com.
I hope I made the worst bet for me personally of the entire 2026 calendar year last night. I had NC State plus 7.5. And that game was over with 10, 12 minutes in the first game. Louisville, weird combination, right? Like I'd rather just, they have no chance in the game. Louisville could not miss from three. They went to the free throw line way more often to begin the game and like throughout almost the entire stretch. And they crushed them on the glass. What are you supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
They got out, and when Louisville plays like that, they are borderline elite.
Yeah.
And that team, when they're hitting their shots like that, they can go a long, long ways this year in the tournament. But so you rip the Band-Aid off and you move on. You were asking with this kid now who wants to cut his hair, man, using action right now. It's been growing for more than 2 years or right around 2 years. They need to win 5 in a row. What have you done for your favorite team? Billy on X, junior year of high school. Our goal was to go undefeated. I gave up a 2-run bomb to lose a game. I walked home 8 miles after the game in full uniform.
Oh.
Teammates and parents stopped along the way offering rides and food. I passed on all of it.
Wow.
Just hang your head in shame pretty much the entire way.
Yeah.
The class below me in high school lost in the playoffs for a chance to go and eventually three-peat as high school champions in football. I think to this day, if you bring up that loss, they would still get a little upset talking about it. And that's been 25 plus years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that, it took a couple of years for them to get over it. And they would still get mad right now probably, or like have to have a couple of beers talking about it.
Well, rooting for this guy because the clock resets if they lose. And they're down 1-0 in the 80th minute. Mm-hmm. So where you think you have inside information goes wrong. David Purdom, ESPN, more than $24 million was traded on Kalshi on whether Mark Wahlberg would attend the Super Bowl. That's more than was traded on the 31 other celebrities and politicians combined, and 5 times more than was traded on President Trump. The spike in betting interest, a noted Patriot fan, to attend the Super Bowl was fueled by a rumor that circulated among frats and sororities and spread on social media. The probability of Wahlberg attending the game traded as high as 89% in the middle of last week.
Oh, wow.
And apparently he didn't show. As of last night, they had not resolved the market, but the no was trading at a 98% probability. So where that goes wrong. And the other one, there was a rapper who said Drake told him Cardi B would perform at the Super Bowl.
That's right.
So he opened up an account at Pauly Market and bet $177,000 that she would perform at the Super Bowl. She was there on TV, but was just dancing, and they said, no, that's not a performance. So they graded it a loser.
How would you grade it?
I would say that's not performing.
That's what I would do as well, but this is the problem here with prediction markets is that they could probably grade it however they would want. Don't you think?
I think another place did say that's performing. I know.
To me, that's a losing bet.
Right. She would have to sing.
Yes, that's the way I would interpret that.
Doing a couple moves on camera, I don't think counts because it didn't say will she be there.
No,
it was she perform.
Were you watching close enough to recognize that it was Cardi B when the camera went by her?
I was not. No.
Yeah, I had no idea.
There was a lot going on. That was fast paced.
Oh, very much so.
They were jumping around. Yes.
Yeah, and I got an email from Michael who lives back in the Boston area. That one offshore book graded first Boston celebrity to be seen? John Bon Jovi?
Yeah.
And I questioned that on the air yesterday. I'm like, hold on a second here. He's a New Jersey guy. And Michael responded by saying, not among the wildest regional claims or extrapolations could John Bon Jovi be considered a Boston celebrity. Belichick is fond of his music, and perhaps they have been charity events where he and Kraft had common interests.
Well, he's friends with Kraft. He's in the suite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he goes, Michael called it a bogus prop, and he can't believe that it got home. He is not a Boston
He was,
celebrity.
I know,
That's insane.
He was listed in the group, and okay, yeah, fair enough.
That's like SEC fans getting to claim
Yeah.
every single team in the conference.
Sure.
Not the way it works.
How concerned are you about Drake May? This has been circulating. The last 19 quarterbacks not named Jalen Hurts to lose their Super Bowl debut have never made it back.
It's not easy, man. Ask Dan Marino.
Ask Dan Marino. I thought I'd be there on a regular basis. Rookie year, never made it again.
I'll give you another guy. I know he won one. The fact that Aaron Rodgers never made it back to a second Super Bowl. If you could go back in time.
Oh, great call.
If you could go back to, what was that, the 2010 season, and the prop was put up, how many Super Bowls will he play in? I think I would have bet over 2.5 more. And he never made another one.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to say that this guy will make it back.
That's right.
There's nothing to say Sam Darnold's ever going to make it back.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult. I saw somebody asking the question today, will Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow all win a Super Bowl before they retire? Max bet over and over and over again on the no.
Sure.
All three of them have to win one Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's hard. Brady,
yes, it is.
Brady ruined it for everyone.
Yeah, and then Mahomes kind of...
Mahomes, yeah, sure. Certainly that's incredible what Mahomes is doing.
Sure. But any of these guys to get back.
Yeah. Well, how long do does Allen have left? That's the other thing.
Yeah, I know.
5 more
Jackson.
years.
How about Jackson?
Sure. Always hurt, no doubt.
And Burrow is, people already joked that when he got hurt this last year, he's going to win Comeback Player of the Year for a third time next season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I would rather bet, any of those guys win a Super Bowl, I would take the no probably.
Yeah.
Very difficult. It's not probable that these guys are. Otherwise, they'd be minus 800 to win one. They never are. Is it likely? That's a different conversation, but possible? Sure. Possible. Probable? Absolutely not. Will Mahomes ever get back to one? I don't know.
That I would take the yes on, but
yeah, probably. But I mean, if we fast forward to the end of his career now and he never made one back, I don't think he could be surprised.
How about the line FanDuel put up on the halftime show? How good is this? 135.5 million people, global viewers, will watch the Bad Bunny halftime show, and it was 136. Look at that! Come on, great job, nailed it.
Pebble Beach, next stop, PGA Tour. Jeff Seeley on the program. He'll analyze the event, provide some best bets. Coming up next.